Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shock taking a look at the cold that we have and that we're going to continue to see really for the longer term here. So let me take a look. Actually, I want to show you this first. Let me zoom out on this here. This here is obviously the weather station here. It's at my place. You can see the high today was 8 degrees. The average high is 37. So we were just about 29, 30 degrees below normal. The low was -2. The average low is 16, so we're 18 degrees below normal. You can see right now it's only 6. The dew point's -7. And the anemometer is frozen, but I've been out there with the handheld anemometer at times throughout the day today doing a wind speed measurement so I could try to keep my records here. Obviously, continue the record keeping that I'm doing. I got the 33 miles an hour today. I forget what the temperature was. I can go and look, though, here at the past hourly data and try to see what time that was. Yeah, so it looks like this was earlier here today around, looks like, 12 o'clock. And the winds were 19, but the wind gust was 33. The I have wind chill average and wind chill gusts on here. I'll try to zoom in on this column a little bit here. You can see the wind chill and the wind chill gusts were -17 to -22, so it was very, very cold today out there with the wind chill. Again, we have a wind chill advisory in effect here in this part of southern New England. So, again, you can see how cold it is out there now. It's only 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's only 6 degrees, and the temperature and the dew point are dropping off quite significantly. So it's going to be a very, very cold night ahead. Here are my forecast lows for tonight. You can see a lot of areas here I have below 0, may even hit below 0 tonight. In Boston, I have it now at 0. And then really, I mean, much of the region, a couple places, Fitchburg and Norwood may go sub -10 tonight. And even down here to the Cape Cod Canal, temperatures around 0. So again, very, very impressive shot of cold air that's coming on in. And when I did my video back around Thanksgiving saying that in December it was going to get cold, and boy, did it get cold. I'll tell you what, I mean, this is phenomenal cold, and there's more coming, so we'll take a look at that here as well. So let's take a look at what's happened over the last 7 days. You can see the 21st or 28th, how cold it's been relative to normal. And you can see here on New England, 2 to 4 C below normal. And the next two days of the month, you know, it's going to be 15 to 25 C below normal, so that will continue to come on down. I think the month looks like this so far. You can see the cool now taking over the average for the month, where it looks like we're around 2 C below normal. We should end up, I think, around 4 to 5 C below normal with the next couple of days coming up, and you can see the core of the cold will continue to extend to the south with the outbreak that we're currently in. Looking at the forecast for the next 5 days, 12Z today going to the 2nd of January, you can see the cold focused over the Midwest and into the Northeast. Here you can see parts of the central northern New England, -14 to -17 C, and same thing here in the plains, while the Southwest remains warm. Moving here into days 5 through 10, the 2nd to the 7th of the new year, the cold really gets focused in the eastern part of the United States, and there's going to be a major storm, it looks like, next Wednesday and Thursday up along the East Coast, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second, that this could be a blockbuster storm, and it may snow in the northern Florida with this too. It's going to be a very interesting situation since we're going to get all this high pressure that builds up. We start drawing a north wind down the peninsula of Florida. Storm is actually going to develop over here in the Bahamas, believe it or not. I mean, the setup for the storm is ballistic. All right, I'll go to that in just a second, but this is a very, very interesting signal for snow in the deep south. And then the days 11 through 16, it's pulling back, but it is still cold relative to average. So a long-term cold event underway, and then you can see the ridge trying to come back days 11 through 16 with the trough back into the west. Here's a GFS operational again. Days 0 through 5, very, very cold air. 5 through 10, again, eastern part of the United States, northeast United States, very, very cold air, and even down to Florida. The European, believe it or not, by the way, operationally, I think that's next Tuesday and Wednesday. I got to double check, but Orlando has a high of about 34 and a low around 23, so it's going to get very, very cold in the state of Florida. So you really can't escape this. You know, you think about Florida being so warm, being surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic, but it really doesn't work when you have these north flows coming down the state delivering the cold air with snowpack threatening to be laid down across that area. So it's going to be very, very cold even for Florida. We're going to see a lot of records to start the new year. Now, on to the storm situation that's going to be coming up next week. You can see the GFS ensemble starting to hint at this here. The very rapidly intensifying a low coming up out of the Bahamas. You can see a couple members here in the 940 to 960 millibar range. And the European, much more aggressive, similar situation, storm develops out of the Bahamas and comes on up. So a very, very interesting situation. Very, very strong storm could be going up the East Coast middle of next week. And why could this go really so crazy? Well, it's going to develop over almost 80-degree water here in the Bahamas. We're going to see a low develop there, and the low is going to track north. We're going to have the high off to the west, supplying cold air down. And again, it may snow in North Florida with this. We'll see how that works out. Then it continues to ride up the coast. So we're going to have all this Arctic air coming out of the plains, phasing in here. We have the warm water off the East Coast, 2 to 3 C above normal. All this coming together with the very strong jet dynamics coming up and the polar vortex. All this coming together at the right time. This could lead to a sub 950, if not even a 940 something millibar low, getting close to southern New England. And yes, potentially horrific snow and wind and cold. So a very, very interesting situation coming up middle of next week from really Florida to New England. To see how this storm evolves and what the impacts will be. But after that storm goes by, again, the cold comes back in. So the cold is the biggest story out of all of this. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.